Hello, guys. So I'm just doing a very quick, but not very quick. I've got nearly an hour to spend doing some Q&A for anyone who has any questions they want answered. I'm supposed to be speaking at a conference in Kiev, and I got there an hour early. Not that I'm personally in Kiev, but got arrived. I thought it was 2 o'clock UK time, and it's actually 3 o'clock. So I'm just going to do a quick Q&A. If anyone's got any questions, put them in the live chat, and we will get them answered. So yeah, put your questions in here, and I will get as many of them as I can possibly get answered. If you want me to show you something or whatever it may be, just pop it in the live chat there. So who is with us today? That is the big question. We have Althavra. Hello. Mr. Paul Hogden. He comes everywhere. So even unannounced live Q&A sessions, Paul, you are appearing. You are the number one attendee. But yeah, I'm just doing a live Q&A, Paul. I was actually supposed to be speaking I am speaking at a conference live to the Kiev audience, but I thought it was on at 2. It's not actually on until 3, so I thought I'd do a quick half-hour, 35-minute question and answer session before I hop off, because I was sat with the lights on, ready to do the presentation, and boom, they said, you're here too early. So, so happy to answer any question you guys have got. Any digital marketing, doesn't have to be SEO, doesn't have to be whatever. Ask away. Good to see business growth ready from sunny Birmingham. I'm going to bet it's not so sunny in Birmingham, man. Birmingham, to me, anytime I've been, has always been a bit like Glasgow, and it's always been kind of rainy and dull. But I really hope you guys have not got the sun today, because it's really dull and dreary here in Glasgow today. So actually get the heating on in the house and all that stuff. So, but yeah, so get any questions in, guys. Kazi Farhan, hello, mate. Good to see you. Paul, saying I'm a good man. So yeah, Paul, it's just people that do the free courses and follow me always have basic questions they want answered, and I don't always have time to reply to every message I get, which is why I do more of these kind of Q&A sessions, because you can and I prefer to do this rather than reply message after message after message. Just becomes a bit tedious, and yeah, it's the last thing I want to do is look at my my inbox and go through them all. So this is the perfect time to get it done. But thank you, mate, from India. Good to have good Indian people on here. And sunny in the mind, wet outside. That is the right mindset. Also, the Canaries is open back up again, so you could also just fly out and get a bit of sunshine. So it's always an option. I'm not taking any risk doing it, but I've seen the news that is an option, so it makes me jealous. But on to a question. Kazi Farhan, how do you price your SEO package when starting out? Charging $500 a month, is that too much for local auto company? It depends on the area, really. You know, if you were charging someone that in a really kind of crap area, then of course it's not going to be an amazing value for money. And also the search in that area is important. So it's what return of investment that guy's going to get for ranking for whatever you're charging $500 a month for. Obviously, if someone's spending $500 a month, I don't think they've got an issue, as long as the search volume and what you're doing equates to $5,000 a month in terms of business revenue for them, or 10 or whatever that amounts to. So I think you've got to bear that in mind when pricing as well. What is this guy going to get out of it? Is he going to continue to pay me, or am I taking this 500 quid and I know that he's not actually going to rank that well and there's not a lot of search volume, so I'll just take his money and run? So you know, that's the kind of thing you need to balance out in your head. And if 200's a better fee to charge for that area, and you're going to keep the client happy, and you're not going to rob them, and you're going to have long-term business with them, then that would be a much better pricing thing. But 500 a month for certain areas, of course, is not an outrageous amount of money. So as long as there's search volume there, and you're confident that you can do the job, then 500 is not too much. So it's all depends on a number of different factors, but as long as you're confident and he gets his return for that 500 quid, then I'm sure it's a win-win situation. Itamar, good to see you. Hope all is well in sunny London. Any questions, Itamar? Get them on here. And anyone else who's got questions, just bung them on. You don't want to hear me talking about the weather or going to the Canaries or any of that crap. And as I say, I'm not expecting a huge amount of questions because I literally have just sprung up on a lot of people's feeds. But yeah, I've got to do question and answers regular because I get asked questions all the time. So hopefully it does help people. Alexander McD, thank you very much for finding it. Make sure you do subscribe as well, so you get notified of all other future videos that go on here. I've got a lot of different tutorials, different podcasts, different question and answer sessions, different live shows, different everything, and hopefully I've even got a bit of banter as well now and again, although that is debatable. But there you go. Clark Duncan, I would pay a basic plus performance related bonus tiers. If you're a good SEO, you will make more money. If you're crap, you will run for the hill. Yeah, basic to cover your costs, and maybe performance related bonuses are good. It's also an option. To the chap that was asking, do you charge this for SEO? It's very hard to. Client SEO is just a money-making exercise, really. If you're good at SEO, you wouldn't really be doing client work as such. You make your own money a lot better. So also bear that in mind, or you can just do lead gen to the chap there, and you probably get a hell of a lot more out of your client than 500 quid a month if you do a different model. David Holgate, I like the Canaries though. David, don't we all, man? I would kill for a cheeky week in the sunshine and just lie down for a week. And yeah, it's just been too long since I've had a good bit of sunshine and just switched off. So seeing that news absolutely horrified me, that people are going to be getting over there. And fair play to them for taking the chance. Frazzle, too tired for asking questions. Itimar's always tired. For a young pup like you, that's shocking. Hi, Craig. I want to quit my SEO job next week and focus my agency business. Any word of advice? The only advice I would give to you is don't jump too soon. Jump when the right time. Jump when it's the right time. If you've got enough money to earn your salary, then go for it. I think sometimes you've just got to take action, do the jump. But is that the right time for you? Obviously, I don't know what you're earning, what you're doing. I think the timing of jumping out, because it's a scary thought. You've obviously got some form of costs, whether that be mortgage or, whatever your status is. I'm not so sure on, but as long as you're confident that you can cover that, then I think it will be the best decision you do. I think anyone that I've ever helped or worked with that's taken that jump has always been successful, but they've always been, when do I jump, and then bang, they just go for it. And if you're good, it'll pay off. There's Ryan Derari. He took the jump last month, and he's doing reasonably well. And I think Ryan's about a month into doing it, and he's financially a fair bit better off already, and long may that continue. So do it. Don't sit and worry about it. Just get it done. Reason to design. Hey Craig, quick one in CTR manipulation. Do you think CTR manipulation 2 backlinks help both links value and money pages ranking. It's not something I've actually done on backlinks as such. Of course, the higher a backlink ranks, the more traffic it gets, which I think would potentially pass more value. But that's not actually something I've tested to give a definitive answer. But why not? Why wouldn't it? If you can do that and shove up a post or an article or whatever, then yeah, I mean, obviously for backlinks that, sometimes I blast, Web 2.0s at them or whatever to try and give them a bit more power. But obviously, what also gives power is better rankings and more traffic. So I think, it's a potentially good strategy, but it's just one of those ones where how far do you go or how far do you need to go in terms of manipulation and stuff to get good rankings? So yeah, worth trying out for sure. And Clark Duncan, please don't. I hate you guys that have buggered off to Glasgow and got a better life. My wife's got me locked up here, and you get a big family, close family, and all that stuff. So I'll never be able to escape other than long holidays. But hey ho, could be worse things that happen in life. Can't moan too much. So David, to answer that one, Surfer's great, POP's great, Core is also a great tool if you're wanting the kind of granular details that it gives. I personally, just because I used it first and stuff like that, I use POP. Don't ask me why. It's not, in any way better as such, but I use POP. So hopefully that helps you. And why do I use POP? And I think a lot of people when they're getting their affiliate websites and they do their keyword research, they then just go somewhere and outsource and say, right, get me 10 articles, 1,000 words each, blah, 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 blah. Who the hell says 1,000 words is the right amount of words to go for a given search term? And that's why I use POP, because I want that shit researched and gives off a better, it just works better. So I always put it through POP, check what the volume should be, and what other titles are there, and various other words that can go into that. And yeah, that's my way to do it. Alexander McD subscribed. So what's the story we use in CDN like Cloudflare and SEO? Should I submit the site to Search Console before or after? I mean, Cloudflare and a CDN, is more about, if you're using Cloudflare, they've got different servers all around the world and your website will load from different servers. That won't really impact submitting it to Search Console. So it won't matter whether you do it before or after, to be honest with you. Probably in terms of how I would work, I would have it done before, just purely because I think it's one of the first things you should do when your website go live, set up your Search Console, analytics, blah, 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 blah. And then, you might look into Cloudflare and optimizing for speed and various other bits and bobs. But again, sometimes you might just go to a web designer and they chuck, Cloudflare on there and off you pop. So it can be done before or after. It really doesn't make a big difference, if I'm being honest. Not in my opinion anyway. Mirafi, is Ahrefs enough to cover SEO practice? Or shall we go for more tools such as SEMrush, Moz, etc.? You don't have to have SEMrush, Moz, and Ahrefs. I think I'm not a Moz user, so I can't really comment on Moz. I've not used it for years. I do have both Ahrefs and SEMrush. I've always used SEMrush. It's pretty much the number one tool that I use, probably down to personal preference. Ahrefs historically have always been better at backlinks, which is why I've still got it. And I use DR as a kind of thing that I look at when I'm looking at websites and stuff like that. So, SEMrush, in my opinion, I've got better auditing and stuff like that. So I also use SEMrush for auditing and stuff. Ahrefs is more competitor analysis, backlink analysis, and various other bits. So I use both, but it's yeah, it is what it is. But you don't need all three, that's for sure. Guy Fox, I make enough to cover all my living expenses and have 1 or 2 years worth of savings. Will do it. Thank you. Good luck, Guy Fox. Be keen to to see how well you do. Maybe get you on a show and you can talk about it and tell us the pitfalls or the kind of stuff we can talk about it so that we can help others in the future. Maybe avoid certain things that can happen and stuff like that. But I think just go for it. Just don't fuck around. You'll be, in a couple of months' time, you'll be like, why did I wait so long? Good luck with it, mate. It's always great to see someone else taking the plunge and doing well. So, and Itimar's also saying good luck. So, yeah. Tommy Finnan, where have you been hiding, mate? I'm all good. Hope all is good with you as well, mate. Clark Duncan's laughing. Biz Tour, afternoon, mate. Can I upload 10 to 20 blog posts up to a client's website all at once, or do I need to stagger it? There's nothing stopping you uploading them all at once, but then your client may expect you to do that all the time. So I would stagger it and make sure that it looks like more work than it actually is. That's just how I would do it, but there's nothing there to suggest that it's going to impact your SEO in any way. Get them on there as soon as you can. Also, when analysing competitors in POP, is it not a good idea to include directory sites like Yale, Checkatrade for the same service if they're not a one-on-one match? You can do, but I think you're overcomplicating it, as always, Theo. So don't talk to me again until you've done your 20 articles, as we've discussed last night. But I think you can do that if you want to be granular about it, Theo. It's really up to yourself, but do you need to go to that level? I'm just looking for a kind of rough idea of what Google likes in page one for this particular search term, and then go for it. Don't want to be digging too deep, because the more digging means less work, and sometimes, as I said to you, you need to throw shit out there and see what sticks. So hopefully that answers that. How's the Las Vegas competition going? It's only about 2 weeks old, man. I'm just I'm relaxed about it. I've not actually checked, if I'm being honest, Ryan, and I won't check. I'm just doing shit. And I know people are looking at my website waiting to see what I'm doing. I've said to people before, if you're looking to see what I'm up to and trying to reverse engineer it, I'm not touching the on page for a bit yet, until it's too late for you guys to take action. So I'm doing off page right now, and yeah, so for you or anyone else who's trying to see what I'm up to, you'll probably just see that homepage, spammy as fuck homepage sitting there and going, whoa, what's he doing? He's lazy or whatever. So that is the plan behind that. There's too many people watching it. Have you learnt any new dirty black hat tactics lately that you're hiding from us? David, there's always stuff that I'm hiding and stuff that I don't want to publicly share that work really well. And obviously, one, I don't want to tell them because everyone will abuse them and get it banned. Two, they're working really well for me, so I don't really want to share them. And three, the minute you do share something like that on a live video, whatever the loophole is, ends up getting patched up. So I need to be careful, but there are a few things, and they will come out in due course. But sometimes, that's what I miss about the in-person events. Sometimes you can see things to people in person, and they're like, right, that makes more sense now that you've said it that way. So, yeah, I try and give tips and hints on here, but there's sometimes you can't roll it all out just as go do this, go do that, go do that. So there are stuff, but I need to be careful. Mateos, what about our tattoo on the 5th of February 2021? So Mateos is from Poland. He likes tattoos, and as do I. And we actually said that we were going to get an SEO tattoo. You've never seen anyone with a good SEO tattoo, have you? So we are going to get one on that particular date in 2021. Because it's a combination of everyone's birthday. It's right in between them all. So don't worry, man. I've not actually decided what I'm going to get, but I'm going to get an SEO tattoo because the industry has been good to me, and yeah, why not have a tattoo on it? So, yeah, looking forward to it, mate. Hope you've not bricked out yet, and you also get one. business growth ready, as I need 36 hours days, looking for a tool to get some links. RankerX or SEO Autopilot or not. I prefer SEO Autopilot. RankerX is also a great tool, but my personal preference is SEO Autopilot. So that would be where I would tell you to go to. But, that's just, again, personal preference. I'm not dismissing RankerX in any way, shape, or form. Ryan Durrani, when I come on the show and tell you how amazing the jump is, when can I come on the show? You need to earn some money first, Ryan. Nah, I'm only kidding. Ryan's doing well. We can get you on, mate. I think Ryan's desperate to get on. So Ryan, we will get you on soon enough. Craig McGill says also staggering that content so that it can get shared better online. You've also got that, sharing it around and across your social platforms and everything else. And it's also a good tip there from Mr. McGill. Info dumping like that could also annoy your audience. So Craig's right. I've got Push Engage on my website, and it gives people who sign up to my push notifications a notification every time I release a blog post. If I was to go and put 20 out there, I can guarantee that my push notifications subscribers are going to go down. So info dumping like that can annoy your audience. So stagger it out, do it consistently over a longer period of time. I think, there's loads of little quirky things that you need to think about. And so there you go. Clark Duncan, I tested out your tip in micro workers. I just picked 25 for speed and ran 2 tests to see. What I noticed was if you choose international, it's cheaper. The order was filled in less than 3 hours, but the same settings to just one country was over 3 days, much better. So any tips on how you can pick when something should start? As my first one was delivered overnight. So Clark, depending on what you're doing, now if you're doing local SEO, you want that traffic to come from a particular source. For me, when I do micro workers, it's normally on videos and stuff like that. So it really doesn't matter where that comes from. And fast is good for videos, but certainly slower and longer term, more consistent clicks is going to work better for organic search. So the speed of 25 is relatively slow. The reason it went so fast is because you've picked, it doesn't matter, every country out there. If you put 25, as you say, and you pick one country, then, it's spread out over 3 days, which is much better. But you've just got to play around with that speed of 25, lower it down to 10 or 15 or 3, whatever works. And if you want to throw a budget at it and you want it to, be spread out over 20 days, for example, try lowering that number of 25 and picking that one country would be what I do. Obviously you're going to get quick clicks from certain countries, India and so on, because there's a lot more micro workers on there trying to earn money, whereas there's less of them in the UK, which is why it takes a bit longer. So yeah, hopefully that helps. So Theo, yes, of course, Yale.com or Gumtree or whatever are in the top 10 rankings for a particular keyword. If they are typically in the top 10, you'll probably find that keyword is not that competitive if it's got Yale and Gumtree and stuff like that. So again, just go and get it done. I think being too granular with that stuff's just going to waste a lot more time when it doesn't need to be wasted. So that's just my 50 pence worth. Randy Rode, good morning, boss. When is my next speaking event? I am actually speaking to an audience in Kiev in 25 minutes. So got the slides ready, just doing this prior to it. So I'm not sure if you can still get tickets or not, or whatever, or if it's private or not. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm speaking in 25 minutes. To an audience in Kiev. So there you go. Sudhir, I have more than 170 posts in my blog, and almost most of those posts are ranking. Some posts, no matter what I do, won't rank at all. I regularly update, did some excellent guest posts, etc., etc. I mean, there must be a reason they're not updating. They're either not getting indexed or they're just not good enough. And of course, that can happen. You've got to make sure your internal links are on point and everything else. But it's very hard for me to identify what something like that could be. It could be a number of different things. But without seeing it, it's very hard for me to identify what that is. But obviously, what you seem to be doing is rolling out a lot of content. You're seeing most of the stuff ranks, and there's a handful that are not, and you're doing, great guest posts and you're getting all of that stuff. Is that stuff, got good internal links? If you're building links to something that's getting great content, there's no real reason why it shouldn't rank unless there's some kind of structural issue, where Google can't get to the page or something like that. But we'd need to dig deeper on that. Randy, what would an SEO tag look like? Do you know what? I don't know. And I've not even I don't know anyone that's got one to say, that guy's got one that looks really cool. So it's very, very hard. So I've got a few months to think on it. And obviously, if it's going to be, on you full time, permanent, you need to make sure it's something you can live with. So I don't know. I can't answer that one, Randy. I don't know what a good SEO tattoo would look like. I don't want to be crazy and have someone's brand or something on me. That would be nuts. But obviously, SEO is and has given me a good living, and it's been a big part of my life for 20 years. So I think it, wouldn't be a bad thing to have something to showcase that. But as I say, I need to get the thinking hat on for that. Moneymaker, I will actually email you back. I've got your email. I've just been flat out for the last few days. But yeah, it's been a terrible week for me. I've got 3 live events, speaking events, making slides, doing my live shows and everything. So I will get back to you later today. But anyway, what DIY SEO tools would you recommend for an e-commerce site? When you say DIY, what do you mean? Like, give me an example, because I'm not sure what you mean by DIY, do-it-yourself SEO tools. I mean, is that link building? Is it, POP to analyze your on-site SEO? Let me know what you're trying to achieve, and I can give you a better pointer, because I could give you SEO tools that allow you to do it yourself, but they don't actually do the work for you. You've got to input a lot of data there, and you've got to know what you're doing with these tools. So let me know what where you're struggling, and we can try and figure that out. Vicky Verma, top important things to rank an article. Content, title tag, internal linking structure to that throughout your website, and link building would probably be the kind of better things to do. Make sure you've got a process though, like using a tool like POP to make sure that the article is optimized as best it can. Hassan SK, how can you check the quality of the content? I mean, one person's quality could be another man's garbage. That is really down to perception. If Google, you've got to make sure that Google likes it, and again, using something like POP, Surfer, or something similar will give you an idea of whether your content is garbage or not. So have a look at those tools. If directories are top ranking pages, you should be able to romp in. You are right, Paul. Paul's also given the same answer as me. A black top hat would be good too. I don't think a top hat would suit me, man. For keywords, Moneymaker, you probably want to be looking at SEMrush. To be fair, they've always had a great keyword research tool, but they've also got, similar to POP on the back end, it's called the SEO content template, which will allow you to check out, roughly how many words you need to write. You can also audit with that. But they've got the keyword magic tool, keyword gap analysis, where you can find keywords that your competition rank for. You can put up into 5 competitors, and you can see what all of these guys rank for that you don't, and it basically gives you a lot more data. So keywords, SEMrush So SEMrush is going to help you research the keywords. It will also help you, do better content, but you're also going to have to spend links and then grab some of that organic traffic, and then you can obviously reduce your spend on display ads longer term. So yeah, SEMrush would probably be the tool for you if you want to do a whole bunch of stuff on there. I think it's $99 for the cheapest package, and they've got 40 plus tools in there. It also helps you disavow stuff and all sorts of other stuff. So SEMrush is what you want, in my opinion, but I'll put that in an email to you anyway. The Urdu Academy, how to create backlinks. Go buy some. You can do outreach. You can check what the competition have got and figure out a way of schmoozing these people to get the links that you want. But in most cases, people will do outreach, or they will pay for them, or they'll pay someone who knows what they're doing to get them. Or you can reach out to web owners yourself. Or you can trick people using, some of the stuff that I've spoken about in various other videos. Trick people, preying the naive, exploit the vulnerable, all of that kind of stuff. There's a million ways to get backlinks. What you need to know is you need to get good quality, powerful, relevant backlinks from websites that have traffic pointing to your website. How you go about that is entirely up to yourself, whether you need to wine and dine someone, whether you just need to pay an admin fee to get it placed, or whether you need to exchange content, exchange something, whatever. That's how you're going to create it, and that's where you become creative, thinking outside the box, do something that makes someone want to link to you. And there's a million different stories you could tell on that. LinkedIn user, hi Craig, looking to build some tiered links in a specific niche. Will Get Me Links provide a consultation to help with targeting and to talk through the process. So Get Me Links do give you a kind of consultation for sure. Gary will give you a free consultation, but he's not really going to talk you through the process as such in terms of granular detail, because at the end of the day, a service like that is, he just wants people to go and buy 1 link, 10 links or whatever, but he will help you to some degree. But talking you through the process, he can tell you roughly what's going to happen and stuff like that. But I think the talking you through what they don't want to do, the whole point of online and being able to buy 1 link or 10 links or whatever you need, is his services are normally targeted at people who know what they want to buy, and they trying to avoid the time spent on calls and hand holding, because it ends up too much, overwhelming if you like, and they just don't have the team to be totally granular on it. But I know they do offer a consultant a free, I can't remember if it's half an hour or an hour, but you can get a consult call, and Jasper, the sales guy, will tell you, do research and stuff like that, and help you and talk to you and stuff like that. So they do have some support, but yeah, give them a shout and see if they can help you with that. And they can certainly tell you what, in terms of the best targeting and the best way to do it, because the reason they're offering that is because so many people are just going and buying links, and then they will come back saying, well, your links didn't actually help me rank. And they're like, well, you asked for those links. This is the anchor text that you suggested. This is where you pointed your links to, and 50% of those cases, people are not doing it properly. So they will help you in that regard, and get as much bang for your buck as you possibly can. And obviously they're very good at what they do. But with anything in life, it's how you do it. And people just buying links blindly sometimes don't get the results they want. So they will certainly, their job is to make sure that you are a long-term customer, and you do get the results that you do want, and as much bang for that money as you possibly can. So give them a shout. Alex, how much you paying these days for a website with 5k monthly traffic, and what things do I look out for when buying? It's hard to say a price just for that monthly traffic. It's 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 a difficult one to say, because when I'm looking for websites, I'm looking for people who've maybe, you know, just not done the full job. So I'm not necessarily looking that it's got a minimum of 5K monthly traffic. I'm just looking for some weakness there where I can go in and ramp that stuff up. And whether it's get 2,000 hits or not, I'm looking for to potentially look for someone who's maybe not good at backlinks, or they've thrown hundreds of content at it, but they're just not really get the internal links or the link building right, or whatever, or just a lazy affiliate. So I'm looking for other things out with trying to get that monthly traffic. But obviously, when you're buying websites, things to look out for is make sure that it's not built on PBNs. I do look out for weaknesses in the person that's doing it rather than flaws within the website. I don't want some smart ass selling me a website that is propped up with black hat stuff, and as soon as I buy it, it's going to collapse when they remove all the links. Obviously I'm looking for that as well when I'm looking for websites, to make sure that I don't get that. But I'm more looking for the kind of weaker side of the market, and grab those opportunities. So that's what I'm looking out for when buying, just making sure there's no massive footprints, making sure that the business model does work. It's got a lot of search volume, and obviously someone's done a bit of work, adding a bit of content. I'm looking for 50 plus articles to give it a bit of a start. And I'm not that fussed in anything else other than as long as it's not spammy as hell. I'm looking for a semi-decent backlink profile, and that content are the kind of two main things I'm looking for. Obviously the template can change, the traffic can change, and the content and everything else can be ramped up. But I'm just looking for that little bit of a head start when it's maybe get 50 or 100 articles, and then boom, I can go in and add my stuff and maybe refine the website slightly, buy it, scale up, and then flip it. So that's kind of things I'm looking for in a nutshell. But guys, I'm going to have to wrap up in a few minutes. I will try and answer a few more. Hassan SK, which tool do you think is best for keyword research? SEMrush is, in my opinion, the best one out there. A lot of people talk highly of cognitive SEO. Have a look at that if you want an alternative. But those two are really good for keyword research. Elton Musa, how would you start with link building on a new page in your domain? What kind of links would you build first? I mean, is it a new website or just a new page? If the website's got a good solid backlink profile, then I'd just be looking for guest posts and stuff like that straight to that page, and then maybe do a tier of niche edits. That would normally be how I do it, providing that the domain's been built up and stuff like that. And there's no need to go after generic links or stuff like that if you've already done that to build the domain authority up. So probably just some good quality relevant guest posts that get some decent traffic. The Urdu Academy, Craig, you speak rapidly. I didn't get you. I mean, it's a nice it's not a nice complaint to have, but I can't change my accent. I'm not even sure what your question was again. But let me scroll back and see if I can see it. To the Urdu Academy. How to create backlinks. Yeah, just Google it. Just Google how to create backlinks. There's a million other posts out there. I've tried to explain it, obviously, in my language, and it is hard to understand. I do appreciate that. You're probably better just Googling it and checking what other guys are saying on it, because we're all pretty much saying the same thing. Yeah, it's just get good quality relevant links that are in your niche, and whether you have to beg for them, pay for them, schmooze someone for them, trick someone for them, or whatever, that's how you get backlinks. We all use different tactics and deploy different things to make sure that we get what we want, but the bottom line is making sure that those links are relevant and of good quality. That's what you need. So hopefully that does help you. But guys, I do have to run because I've got a presentation to do in 10 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up and thank everyone for joining. make sure you do give the video a little like, and hopefully I've helped a couple of guys there. Ken Morley, good to see you. West 10 Travel, Craig, you're a funny geezer. I try. But yeah, good to see you guys at the end, but I do need to nip off because I've got a presentation in 9 minutes now, so just need to prepare for that. But have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you for everyone who asked questions. Make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys again next week. Cheers, guys.